Hello and welcome to the soundcheck of the Harman Kardon Onyx Mini. This is the smaller brother of the Harman Kardon Onyx Studio 3 and you can currently pick it up for around $180, but in some stores you can already find it for around $100, which is a great deal. As the Onyx Mini costs almost $200, it fits right in the price range of the Charge 3 and A1, but the A1 being $50 more expensive. When you first open up the high quality packaging, you can find the speaker, a micro USB cable to charge it, and the user manuals. When picking up the speaker for the first time, I noticed that it isn't as heavy as the others, with a total weight of 587 grams. The front is covered with the Harman Kardon typical fabric grille, which has a nice feel to the hand and is removable. Under the hood you can find two 45mm full range drivers and the first passive radiator for the bass. Everything is powered by a 16-watt amplifier. Sadly, they didn't use bigger 50mm drivers and a stronger 20-watt amplifier like in the Charge 3. When turning the speaker around, you can find all your ports. A micro USB port for charging and an auxiliary port for connecting no Bluetooth devices to the speaker. Sadly, there is no USB port to charge external devices on the go. You also have your second passive radiator, which doesn't feel as sturdy as the ones from JBL. The back is covered in a soft touch rubber, which looks good in the first weeks, but could peel off when used outdoors. On the top you can find your buttons, which include a plus and minus button for volume adjustments, a on and off button, a Bluetooth pairing button for connecting to your phone or to pair up with another Harman Kardon speaker, and a phone button which also works as a track control. The big rubber feet at the bottom prevents the speaker from moving around. I'm glad that the new Onyx Mini features a new base, because the old feet really prevented the other models from being carried around in a bag. You also have a battery indicator sitting at the top. And speaking about battery, Harman Kardon claims a battery life of 10 hours for the Onyx Mini, but in my test it even achieved 14 hours of battery life. But now let's talk about the sound. For me the Onyx Mini is the best speaker in this class as long as it comes to sound. It features the typical Harman Kardon sound signature, which I really enjoy. The treble isn't as heavy as on the A1, but still remaining refined and clearer than on the Charge 3 for example. The mids are really natural and have a lot of room to them. With 70Hz the bass doesn't reach as deep as on the other ones, but it still sounds very punchy and precise. Thanks to the relatively weak amplifier and the small drivers, it can only keep the great sound quality up to 70% of the volume. When you turn it up louder, it will start to reduce the sound quality and compress. But now you should have a listen for yourself. But before starting with the sound check, I want you to know that I got a new camera. This is the Sony Alpha 5000. It is a really great camera. I got it for half the price in an offer. And I think the images it produces are really great. And now I want you to write in the comments if you like the new style of videos or not. But now let's get into the sound check. I will turn on the Harman Kardon and we will first compare it against a more expensive and more high quality speaker. Although the Sony is already offered for $100, it was $250 back when it was released. It plays on extra bass and I will see if I can connect, because sometimes it connects, sometimes not. I think that the Sony is a great speaker for low level listenings, although after 50% heavy compression kicks in, but you can hear it for yourself now. The Sony simply was missing the punch. The Harman Kardon sounded much cleaner, just a little bit more precise. Let's try another track. being much cheaper, the Harman Kardon really sounded better. There was much more body to the sound. Although the Sony offered some nice deep bass, I think this is out of the game when you compare it to the Onyx Mini. Sadly, my A1 is still broken and I have to send it in. So no comparison against the A1 today, but you can check out my quick comparisons between these two. And now we will try it against the JBL Charge 3, the cousin of the Harman Kardon Onyx Mini, and let's have a listen. Now the Harman Kardon somehow sounds a little bit lost against the Charge, because the Charge really is a good speaker for house music or let's say for bass heavy music. But I will try another one and then we will switch over to jazz music. With these bass heavy tracks, the Charge 3 can really hide its rather bad treble and mids, although it sounds really covered compared to the Harman Kardon even with bass heavy tracks. But now let's try a jazz track to make the comparison more fair, and now you will notice that the Charge 3 really lacks in the treble. Much better resolution coming from the Harman Kardon. It is somehow missing the really deep bass, but the Charge 3 really has two bad mids to perform good. Let's try another jazz track. I call it the vocal check.
There is a rose in Spanish, up in Spanish Harlem. She is a special one. She's never seen the sun. She only comes out when the moon is on and all the stars are gleaming.
Yeah, some much better mids coming from the Harman Kardon. Now let's try a much bigger and more expensive speaker, the JBL Extreme. It currently runs for around $220. The price dropped quite a lot. Usually it runs for around $300. But it has a huge bass hump at around 70 Hz and it sounds really boosted. It's also missing some of the resolution. Back when it was released, it was one of the best Bluetooth speakers you could get, but now it is really a little bit outdated. So let's try the same track again.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. She is a special one. She only comes out when the moon is on the run and all the stars are gleaming. She She's growing in the street right.
So yeah, the Onyx Mini really had some better mid-vocal performance than the Extreme. Although the Extreme is much bigger, you really get some almost distorted bass from the Extreme. Even at 55%, the bass is simply not clean anymore. Yeah, the Onyx Mini really is a clean sounding speaker, while the Extreme really didn't perform that great with this track. Now let's try another jazz track.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographed.
Yeah, of course, the Extreme offers more body to the sound, but the Onyx Mini really sounded more refined, more resolution, better mids. Now let's try a hip-hop, or let's say a rap track. And yeah, we will see which one is better, and then we are finished.
From that bottom slot, haters talk, but I never stop. Cut my shows, try to hold me back, but you can't keep me from the top. Yeah, I worked hard, yeah, I took chances. Half my hometown can't stand us. Did everything they said that I couldn't, now I got. Now I cut checks for the songs I drop. Finally getting love for the bars I got. Bring it all back in love from the east. Talk.
Of course, this is the music you should listen with the JBL Extreme, but still the mids of the Harman Kardon were much more precise than with the JBL Extreme, so I think this is the winner here. Although if you prefer hip-hop music like this track, you should really go with the Extreme. It is also louder, offers more feature, but it is of course much more heavier and much bigger than the Onyx Mini. And yeah, I think this is it with the Soundcheck. I hope you liked my video and I could help you. The Harman Kardon Onyx Mini really is one of the best in this class. If you can find it for $100, you got the best speaker in this class. Even for $180, like I bought it, it is a great performer. The sound is really good, sadly only up to 70%, and also on maximum volume it isn't as loud as a A1 or a Charge 3, but I think the sound itself really is great. I don't know how they managed this. Similar to the Go Play, I'm really surprised by the new product. So yeah, if I could help you, please leave a like or subscribe to my channel to don't miss out on any new high quality reviews now. Yeah, until then, have a great time and bye bye. I won't get to the lens because I will damage it.